Good evening and welcome back to the Let's Talk Destiny Talk Show. I would like to ask you to remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay in tune with what we're doing. I have some great guests already on the channel and more coming in the new year, and I guarantee you that you will be blessed. Tonight, I am just so excited. I'm trying to be professional here, but I have a very special sister friend with me who just brings so much joy to my life. And I've been blessed to have some people in my life that when I just think about them, I smile. And tonight I have with me author Sylvia Hubbard, who is definitely one of my favorite people. And so
Aw.
tonight I want to welcome you back to Let's Talk Destiny.
Woohoo! This is awesome. This is
I work on getting
amazing.
the soundtrack. Yeah, it has the people clapping in the background.
Or just get one of those clappers that you used to remember they used to I used to get on Oriental trading. You can just shake that, click,
Yeah,
click, 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 click.
I'll have to
Or
tell
get two
Santa.
of them so it sounds like an audience.
I have to tell Santa to bring me one. So good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing?
I am blessed. I have to say that, it is 2021 and I'm still here. And we have gone through the gambit, but you know what, I just have to say, take a deep breath and just enjoy it. Just say, hey, thank you, Lord, because you really got to sit back and say. And I think that's what everybody has realized in these 2 years, that I woke up and smelt the coffee uh 20 years ago, that
Yeah,
you know what, you take one day at a time, but each step you take, it's about your happiness.
absolutely. Absolutely. So
So,
what's been going on with you since the last time we talked? What's going on with the kids and the hubby and all that good stuff?
girl, like I said, we've been locked up in the house, me and hubby, looking at each other for 2 years. And you really understand what it takes to put a relationship together when you don't have anyone but each other.
Yeah,
And you understand how much you care about each other, and you understand friendship. You really understand that I am with this person, not because he's like this great husband, but because he's like a really cool guy. Like, I would probably stalk him if we weren't married.
wow. All righty then. Let me write that
But
down.
because he's so much fun, we have so many things to talk about. We can do things that, just friends would want to do.
Good, good.
It's nice to know that. And then with the kids, I'm always shocked they still want to be around me as hard as I was. I'm still shocked. But we have maintained, as they've gotten older, they're all, I would say, adults now. The youngest one will be hitting 21 in 2022. So, but we've maintained a communication level where we can talk to each other about anything. We can still get together and have fun, and that's real cool. Like, I've made the progression of, I still see them as my babies. I
Of
still,
course.
they're still like stuck in my head at 2 and 5 and 4. They'll never stop being that age in my head, but that let go, let God kind of have stepped in permanently now. And, when they tell me about something, I have to answer it like, okay, that's what you choose to do. Okay, Lord, let go,
Yeah,
let God. I just have to kind of keep my mouth closed. They when they want my opinion, they will just flat out ask. And that even goes for my son. We can just literally sit on the phone and just talk about all the stuff he's going through and things like that. And that's pretty powerful, when a
absolutely.
grown man can turn to his mom and just, mom, this is going on, this is what's happening in my world, and I just want to know your opinion about something. And I'm like, oh, you want to know my
Isn't that
opinion? Oh,
precious? Isn't that
that
precious?
is just so dear. So that is awesome. I think I've raised a great guy, that is going to be a benefit, I just got to beat the women away
Yeah,
long enough.
I know that feeling, as I'm still like, you know, so if I even think some females looking, I'm like, what are you looking at? Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
And my son's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, even the one that's incarcerated, like, well, no, he don't want no mail. He don't want nothing.
Yeah.
Just leave him
My
alone.
friends will be like, "Oh, is he seeing anybody?" I'll be like, "No, and he ain't about to see nobody. I know you, and he'll want your daughter if she like you. No, no,
Exactly. Just keep it moving.
no.
Keep it moving.
Don't you want me as your relative? No, I don't.
Not
I
at
don't want.
all.
I don't want. No,
No,
I
thank
know.
you. So
So yeah,
you are an empty nester now.
we are partially empty nester. My daughter will be graduating from college
Oh, wow.
next year, so she's studying to be a teacher. So I'm just, yeah, yeah, we are. And that is weird because now I have time. I have time to take care of myself, like just myself. I can just wake up and say, okay, Sylvia, this is what you have to do. It's not
Exactly.
I got to do this. And literally, that's been weird for me, that changeover. Um, it's a blessing, but it's a curse because y- I could probably run the world from my, you know,
Yes.
and be okay. But when you got this free time, you're like, oh, okay. But I've actually transitioned back into writing again
Good,
and
good.
producing more books. And I found like, okay, that's going to be this is what I wanted to set up for my retirement, and I can actually start looking at it. So that's kind of cool. That's weird, but cool. It's just when you get what you want and God gives it to you, you just still look a gift horse in the mouth like,
That's the truth.
really?
Like, okay, now what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And then he's like, listen, sis, you didn't ask me all of that. To ask for this, you got it.
Right. People like,
So don't start
are you
worrying me
sure
all
I
over
got
again.
it? Do you think I really got it? Because I mean, it feels like I got it, but
But I'm not
I don't
sure.
know. I'm
Can you
not
send me
sure.
a confirmation that I got it?
And even after the confirmation, well,
Yeah.
can you just, I want to make sure because
Yeah.
it's like when you take off, you got to be sure when you take off your bra, do I have to go out again? Do I
Right. Let
really?
me think about this thing. And Lord, that is so true. I thought
Let me
about
keep it on
you
just an hour because I don't know.
in case I do need to go back up. But I'm gonna tell you, I've gotten so whatever the word is, like I don't even think about a bra. Like I'm home so much that it didn't even cross my mind. And then like today I had to go out to get a mammogram of all things. So I said, well, I don't need to wear no bra, like because the lady's gonna make me take it off anyway.
Right.
So I'm like, well, what am I? How did that even cross my mind? Because I hardly ever even wear one. But hey, it is what it is. But I was thinking about you the other day because I was talking to this lady who says that she has young children, they're still at home, and she's like, I can't do anything, I can't have anything I want. I don't even think about myself at all anymore. It's all about my kids. And I was like, you need to talk to my friend Sylvia because you need to get some balance over here, sis.
And it
Because
is about balance. It's about taking control, and you're not being selfish. I had to actually learn this from my mother. You are not being selfish when you are taking care of yourself first. At no point when you are a mother, getting your stuff together while the kids can wait. And it's kind of like that thing. If you're not dying, it can wait. If you dead, it definitely will wait because you ain't going nowhere. But if you
yeah,
are not dying, it can wait. So when I come home from work, it was a rule: no talking to me for a whole hour. If there was something, an issue with the teacher or an issue with homework, you text me before I got home because you had time to get your work out, start looking at it over, and if you needed some help, then you let me know so then I can put that in my schedule, because you're not going to think that you're going to control me. I control you and me. This is my situation. So when I walk in the door, literally an hour, you had to give me 1 hour. Don't talk to me. Don't come ask me for nothing. Not it literally, they knew this, because if one did, they all got in trouble. So they
Oh,
knew one, you could hear them in the background. 1 hour, she said 1 hour, leave her alone, because they knew if that
yeah,
one person talked to me, everybody was in
in
trouble.
trouble. Wow.
But that 1 hour got me where I could come home for work, make that mental switch,
Right.
know what I was going to cook for dinner, know what I needed. And even if I didn't have anything to do, if I slept for 30 minutes, if I just watched a movie, if I just sat and wrote a book or something,
Yeah.
or read something, that 1 hour was the saving grace that I needed in order to be able to be a mom that evening, help
Right.
you with
Right.
your homework, get the next day together, get you guys ready for school in the morning, get everybody on schedule, because they had a schedule. And even though, and my daughter and I were just talking about this, um, children need structure. I don't care how you try to say I free range my children, you have to have structure, because it promotes stability and it promotes independence.
Right. Right. Right.
With that, they knew they came home from school, changed out of their school clothes, did their homework, did their chores, and then you had 2 hours before your perceived bedtime,
Yeah.
um, before you could do anything. So you either shared the computer, you watched a movie, you had your own little time to do. If it was still daylight, you could go outside. If I was home, so they knew the schedule.
Right. Right.
So when I come home, an hour later after they arrived home, you have no excuse to talk to me. You got things to do. You got something. I know it's something to do. And if it's not, I will find something for
Yeah.
you to do.
Yeah. And then,
But
now as adults, they not programmed per se, but kind of programmed. They understand the importance of structure. They understand the importance of prioritizing.
right.
They
And that's
understand.
what they do now. Literally, they are able to structure their own world and do what they have to do. They know when they have to get up for work, they have to go out the house, they have to get what they need done, come back home, they have a household to take care of. They have their things to do. It's always something to do, but then they understand free time
Yeah.
and at peacetime. I also stressed that everybody had their own area. So when we first started like living in a one bedroom home, everyone had their own area that no one was allowed to touch or go into without permission. So everybody had their own corner of the house, or even my son had got the pantry together where it was his side, and the pantry stuff. My daughter had this attic space that was hers, and then the baby used to go under the bed. We had these high bunk beds, and under there was her world. So it was their area where they could go and be where they wanted to be without being bothered. That was very important,
Yeah.
because then they understood my bedroom was my area. And when that door was closed,
Yeah. Yeah.
or
I
if
got you.
when we had the one bedroom, the living room was my area. So they couldn't come into the living room until after that hour passed, because that was my time, that was my area. This is what I needed. So yes, that was very important. So structure, space, and just patience. A lot of patience for us. I think we want to hurry the process up.
Yeah.
But yeah, taking care of yourself as a mother, come first.
That's right.
Girl, come home, put some lotion on yourself, get some Carmex, get them lips together, wash your face, and then just be like, okay, now I'm ready to handle my
Yeah.
kids.
Because I
But
hear a lot of mothers say, especially younger mothers, who are always saying, I just give and give and give. Everything is about my kids. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I don't have no help. I don't have anybody that
I
come
didn't know.
like, well, here's the thing, like single mothers, we've been doing this for centuries. And
Centuries.
we've been getting it done. Like you're not the first single mother, sis. But
But closed mouths don't get fed. So if you think you out there by yourself, you are going to be by yourself. But if you open up your mouth and say, hey, I need some help, there's going to be a single mom who's going to give you instruction. She's not going to do it for you
yeah,
because that does not help you
right.
at all. Anytime somebody say they need help, you should always be in the mindset of do not do it for them, but I will
Exactly.
instruct you on how to do it. I will even assist you
Yeah.
on doing it the first time, but after that, you are on your own. And that
I'm
should
doing it
be
for
in
you.
child raising, that should be in helping out friends and so forth and so on, because it's about peace of mind. If I teach you how to do it, then
Yes.
afterwards, if this happens again, okay, this is what she said to do, and let's do it this way. And I'll teach you a method that you can repeat
Yeah.
over and over again if this situation comes up, or if a slightly different situation comes up, that you can still apply the principles. But yes, but you have to open up your mouth. If you
Yeah.
need help, you
Yeah.
have to open up your mouth.
Don't assume that anybody's going to help you. So what do you, okay, now that your children are grown, pretty much you have one left at home. What is a full day like for Sylvia?
So a full day currently is that in the morning times, I use that to write, usually from 3 a.m. to about 7 a.m. is my peak writing period. And I can
Really?
I can get a lot of writing done. That's my
I
peak
guess I
writing
probably
period.
could too, but I spend a lot of that time going back and forth to the bathroom. I guess I could pull out my laptop and do something.
I do the same thing, go back and forth to the bathroom, come sit back down and
Yeah.
write some more. But it's like my peak creativity time. That's when
Okay.
my circadian rhythm tells me that this is a great time for creativity. So that's when I'm like, oh, my brain is talking, or the characters are just going back and forth. And I have to shut them
Wow.
up by either forcing myself to go to sleep or writing. So
Cool.
I have decided most times I do try to write between that time, and then I usually conk out and sleep. I sleep until probably about noon, and then I try to wake up and do housework. I try to, if I have to do grocery shopping or go out or anything, those are my go out times until about 3. And then my husband and I are working on getting a trailer so we can travel more, because we did
Cool.
camping all last year. The last
Oh,
2 years
wow.
we've been doing just camping. So now we're getting a trailer so then we can camp
Ooh,
bigger.
beans. That's
We can
awesome.
glamp. Yeah, we can now glamp.
That's
Glamping.
awesome.
So yeah, because instead of buying another house, even though this house is big, instead of buying another house, we were like, well, let's just spend that money on a camper instead. So,
Awesome.
and we can go anywhere. So that's our retirement plan, and to stay active and stuff on things we like to do. So pretty much that's, we'll plan things,
Yeah.
and we've planning like what we're going to be doing next year and stuff like that. Because he gets off of work at 4, and sometimes he goes into the office, sometimes he's at home, but he works during the day. So that'd be it. Then I, make dinner. I'm in between all of that. I'm either writing more or marketing or promoting or publishing. So I'm throwing things in there for me to do
Yeah.
between all of that. Then I go back to sleep because I do have to work at night. I work my benefit job at night. So yeah, I go back to sleep so I can get back up, maybe so I can go to work at 8:30. But since, we all work from home, it's just walking down to my office and going to work, which is the
Yeah.
best thing
I know it.
ever.
So how long have you been married now?
It's been officially we've been married for it's going on 3 years. By next year it'll be
Because I
three
thought it
years.
was new. I thought it was
Yeah,
new,
it
yeah.
is. Yeah, we officially got married 3 years, but it feels like we've been married since we met, which is 7 years. So it's just like,
Oh, ain't
yeah,
that cute? Oh,
that was our
sweet.
honeymoon. The 3 years before, the three, four
That's
years of.
precious. That's precious.
So
I just
yeah,
love to
that was
see
pretty.
people happy and enjoying each other.
Yeah.
So do you have any
Yes.
special plans for the holiday?
No, probably sleep more and work more. I'm in the middle of a big book, so yeah, just writing more. It's been because my mom passed in 2020, and also my best friend died like a month later.
Oh, wow.
So, but even previous to that, just it was life and just getting my whole thing together after the fire had been really difficult. And then I made a decision at the end of 2020 that it was time for me to get back to being a writer, a professional writer again. I missed it. It was like, not, when you're going out with your friends every year or every week, and then you stop going out with them and you're kind of like, oh, I want to go out with them some more. I want to do more things with them or some. So it was kind of like that with my writing.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to get back with it. So in 2021, I just really decided I am going to write more. I'm going to find a way to put my words on paper faster and just publish it. Don't worry about things, just publish it. Um, and that's what I did. So this would be the book I'm writing now would be my fifth book of the year, which I hope to finish off by the end of
Awesome.
the year.
See, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I need a lot of things, but I need somebody like to constantly be saying, "Are you writing? Like, what are you doing?" Like, because I started a book right after my father died, which was 10
Mm-hmm.
years ago, that I have not finished yet. Actually, two books. And one of them is a children's book. And my
Mm-hmm.
grandson, who's 15 now, he came to visit me in July, and so he was like 5 or 6 when I first started this book, and I was asking them for suggestions for the book. And so when he was here visiting, because they live in California, and he was here visiting in July, and he would talk. He says, and I was showing him something about the book. He says, "Nana, you've been writing this book since I was a baby. When are you gonna finish?"
Make you feel bad.
I'm like, "Little boy, mind your business. Stuff happens, blah, blah, blah." He just fell out laughing.
True.
But it's so
Well, what
true. Like,
how I got back into it is because I used to do before I stopped being the professional writer and just let life take over. I used to do word counts. So I do these huge word counts a day. I could do almost up to 10,000 words a day. I could just bam, 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 punch it out. Um, I realized during 2013 to about 2019, my whole brain had literally changed. Yes, I had the stories. The stories were sitting there in my head, but it was so hard to sit there and try to get to that word count goal. So I had to change my brain to find out. And my mom actually taught me this with the kids. Everybody learns differently, and how they learn always it does change slightly depending on what age you are, and things that are going around. So like with kids, you have to figure out how do they learn?
yeah,
How do they learn in order to make them do stuff? So I had to actually bring that inside and become a parent and figure out how do I learn now? How do I learn how to write again so I can be more productive? And how I did it was like I just started doing scenes. So instead of word counts, I do scenes.
okay,
So if, I say, okay, the beginning of the book starts, she's waking up from her nap and she realized someone has broken in through the night and stole her rent money. Bam, get that scene out and about, and then, the next day it's another scene. Then
Okay.
the next day it said, so I started learning that that's how I would write. So I would like literally start making a list. By 2020, I realized I could make a list of scenes. I could just write a scene. And then before I wrote the book, I would write all these scenes. So wake up, find out her money is stolen, call the police, realize her roommate is also missing, and then go on the adventure of trying to find out what happened to her money and what happened to her roommate and why is nobody answering her questions. So I would go on this little thing where I could like start producing books just by going down this list of
Oh,
scenes, and I could write faster. So by 2021, I had perfected it where, I could just bam, bam, let's write this out real fast. It'll be like 5 pages of scenes and literally go down and say, okay, let me start writing a full book, blank page, and just say, okay, I'm on this scene. Okay, now I'm on this scene. Now I'm
okay.
this scene. So that
That makes
that
sense.
actually changed my whole mindset. And you can, even if you're doing nonfiction, it's the same thing. You just
Yeah.
write down what you want in that book and just write, yeah, okay, chapter 1 I want to talk about this, chapter 2 I'm going to talk about this. And then it's so good with nonfiction because you can flip the chapters around and you don't got to go in order. Except for me, I have to go in order.
Right, 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 right. I got you.
So yeah, that pretty much helped me out. And then I wasn't worried about word count, but like I would still be hitting 5,000 a day, which was good enough for me because then, I could do this straight and finish a book in almost like less than a month.
My
So
goodness
bam.
gracious. Okay. That makes sense because I actually, it's funny you say that because what I did was I did set up like basically the premise of the book is after my parents died, like I said, my youngest two grandchildren were 5 and 6. And then I had a nephew that was like 9. And so they didn't really understand what was going on. Like my mama and papa were here one day, giving them candy and stuff, and then they're gone. And they
Right.
see all the adults around them crying and this, that, and the other, but nobody's asking them how they feel
Yeah,
about
how
it.
they fit. Uh-huh.
So that's the
Right.
premise of the book. I'm actually writing two, one for a grandmother, grandfather and the grandsons and the grandmother and the granddaughters. And so I
Hmm.
asked my grandsons, if you had more time with Papa, what are some things you would have liked to have done with him? So what I've done is broke it down into chapters about this is the day that so-and-so spent with Papa, and this is what they did. So I don't know
Oh.
what is taking me so long because I already have in my
You
head,
got
like,
everything there. You just have to sit your butt in a chair and do it. That is the hardest part. But I usually tell people try to make it, try to force yourself to make it a habit. Become that parent and give yourself rewards and punishments. I used to treat myself with a candy bar if I got like, to this scene. I'd say at this scene I get a candy bar. Woo!
yeah,
you know,
gotcha.
or I'd be able to go somewhere, or I'll tell my husband if I make it here, then we can do this. We'll do this, we'll go out and do this and stuff. So my husband will always be asking me, are you going to make your word count? Are you going to make your scenes today? Are you going to, so, cause he want to do it. Like, he's
Right,
like, come
right.
on, hurry up. And so
That's
I
good.
kind of involve like somebody else if I know it's, especially sometimes it's a hard scene for me to do and I don't want to do the scene. I'll involve like him in it and say, I know he'll get on me. Like, okay, are
Yeah.
you going to get your thing done today? Will we be able to go out later on?
Right, right.
Because then he wants to do it. Then I'm like, oh, I got to do this scene, or, we won't be able to
Because
do it. So,
originally my excuse was like, it was bringing up too many memories of my dad. And I remember one of my grandsons, he was like 6 years old, and he starts
mhm.
crying one day, crying really, really hard. And so my parents, they pastor the church, right? And in most holiness church pulpits, they have a dish with some candy in it for whatever reason.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
And so next to the chair where my mom sat, she had those soft peppermints, right?
Oh
So this kid
yeah.
is 6 years old. He just bawling and bawling. I mean, like hiccuping, crying the whole. I'm holding him and I'm like, what's the matter? And he's like, I miss my mom. And I was like, oh, and he said, and
Aw.
I miss her candy. Girl, listen, I was trying so hard not to laugh because he was so serious.
Serious, right.
So after he got his little stuff together and whatever, I waited a while and I said, well, what do we miss the most, my mom or the candy? And he had to stop and think about it. I said, that's a shame. But it was so cute. So again, he was
Correct.
6 and now he's 16 and I still haven't done this book.
Oh my goodness. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I really am.
So I look at it as, even though I write fiction, I know that the stories that I tell somehow, some way help other people, whether it's for entertainment, whether it's just that they need their hour, and their hour is with, between the pages that I write. This is their peace of mind. I've had readers tell me they love the getaway. They love the fantasy of being somewhere else in someone else's life, just for that moment, because they needed to get away when they couldn't get away. So I know that I was given this story
Yeah.
to be a blessing on someone else. And it's a lot of entertainment for me, but I know, like, once I publish it and get it out there, it's going to be a blessing for someone. So
That's
know that whatever story that you have, your story, or who's ever listening, know that your story is a blessing to other people. And if you are not putting your blessing out there, you blocking your own.
yes,
So
ma'am.
you need to give out blessing in order to receive blessing.
I was
So that should be more of an encouragement to sit your butt in the chair,
absolutely, absolutely.
because you need all the blessing you can get.
Indeed, I do. Lord, right now, Jiminy Cricket. So listen, Sylvia, I'm not going to hold you all night because I really could, but I'm not going to. But if you could summarize for me what 2021 has been like for you, what would you say? And as an author, I know, as a wordsmith and all that, I know you can summarize for us. What would you say some 2021 has done for you? Your blessings, and what have you learned, and how would you just summarize this year?
I I would summarize 2021 for myself as a year of becoming me again. And that's because, even when I was a mom and a writer at the same time, I was always somebody else. I was always like, okay, a mom, a daughter, this and that, plus a writer. 2021 has been a year where I literally could just concentrate on me
Yeah,
and seeing that I'm a pretty nice person to know,
yes,
and
yes,
that
yeah,
I can do these things that I thought that I couldn't do, and I can make things happen even quicker. I used to have to wait for stuff. I would say, hey, I need this. So I would keep it in my Amazon cart and just look and dream about it, because of course I had to get stuff for the kids, I had to get stuff for the house, I had to get stuff for everybody else, but I couldn't. So it was a year of just saying, you know what, I'm gonna make Sylvia happy. I'm gonna get to know her again. And then we're gonna just take her on this journey to see, what she can do. I didn't come into this year saying I'm gonna do 5 books. I did not come into this year. I just said I'm gonna write more. That
yeah,
was my only general thing. And to know that I could get back to where I know where I can be productive and I can still be happy,
yes,
that's a nice place to be. and know, like, you know, I can always turn to my husband and say, you know, do you love me? Do you love me? You know, do you love me, Dick? And to know
Yeah,
that he still does, it's just really nice to know as I go on this journey, because a lot of times when we go on a journey for ourselves, we know sometimes we do have to leave people, you know, on the wayside.
that's true.
I
That's
like that
true.
I have someone in my life that I don't have to leave him on the wayside, that he'll come with me on this journey. And he
Oh,
loves me so much that he wants me to go on this journey, you know, and find those things that make me happy and not settle. So that's kind of nice. That's really beautiful to know. Like, I have somebody there
that's
for
awesome.
me when I
That's
had
powerful.
been on the journey for so long. So
You deserve
yeah.
all of that happiness. You
So
deserve
that,
all.
yeah, 20, yeah. Thank you.
All right,
Yeah,
ladies.
and that's what I'm realizing too. I deserve it.
Yeah,
So that's been hard. That's been hard to see that until now. So yes, I deserve it. Thank
love
you.
it. You deserve every bit of it. All right, I'm gonna let you go. But I have one more question I want you to think about. If you can't think of anything right now, you can get back to me. In March of next year, I will have
Okay.
been doing my
Mm-hmm.
little humble talk show for a whole year. And I'm trying to think of ways to celebrate. So if you come up with some ideas, let me know. Because you know you're one of my favorite. I'm gonna
Okay.
definitely love to have you back that month. But I just want to think of some unique things to do to celebrate. Because I had people tell me that I couldn't do it. I had people tell me that I shouldn't do it. I had health challenges that made me wonder if I could do it. Um, and to have come this far is very exciting to me. And so if I've come this far, then I can go further.
Oh.
Yeah. So I want you to think about it. You can get back to me.
Well, I just thought of it. I just, I just thought you could do a happy journal for moms and make a 12-month journal, like a kind of, you know, 100-page, but it's divided into 12 months, 12 sections, where every month moms could write in their happy places that they did that month. So it's a happy place, because we forget about that as moms. And when times are tough, it's hard to go back to that happy place. But when we're giving birth, they always tell us, find that happy place so you can get the serotonin flowing in order to bear down to give birth.
And I'm just screaming, get out of my face and leave me alone.
Right.
Yeah,
But even after we have the baby, we still need that happy place.
that's right.
So you should make a happy place journal where moms can just write in and go and
I
be able
like
to,
that.
and
I like that idea.
yeah, you can have it downloadable, or you can have it, you know, printed out if they want. But yeah, I would just do a happy place journal,
I
because
like
it
that.
helps with depression. It helps keep track of, you know, things that we did that month that we forgot or we achieved. Some people don't think, like, hey, I bought groceries on time and kept the
Yeah,
house clean
yeah,
for 30 days. That was an achievement.
yeah, definitely. Seriously. Because I was
So yeah.
talking to somebody, they were like, I posted this thing on social media that says something about if your house is filthy, you're just lazy or something. And normally I just like scroll past things like that because I'm like, these people
Mhm.
don't know what they're talking about. But then I saw so many people agreeing with it. And I was like, you know, there are times in your life that your mental state is such that cleaning your house is the least of your
Thank
concerns.
you.
And you don't even really think about the house until somebody else points it out. You don't even realize it needs to be cleaned.
Mhm.
So until you've been there, it would be better for you not to comment on
Right.
it. As
Definitely.
usual, I'm always making somebody mad on social media, but oh well. I think that's why
Stand in line.
I
I
think
always
that's
tell them,
my
stand in
assignment.
line. Yeah, just stand in line, girl. It's
Yeah.
okay. Don't worry about it. So
It's
yes.
so good to see you tonight. You just made my day. I really, really needed to see you today. Seriously.
Aw,
It's
you're
been a
always
rough
a
day.
blessing. It's a blessing. I'm glad I could just brighten it up just a little bit.
Yeah, you my girl. All right, I'm gonna let you go because I'm sure you got some more words rattling around in that head and put on paper. And
Yes.
I got to get caught up because you know I used to be like all on top of Sylvia Hubbard books, but I just hardly be like, oh my God. But I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna get back on track because I know I love your work, your creativity, all of
Then
that.
we'll see your book soon too.
Yes, yes, we're gonna put that out there. I'm
We're
gonna
gonna put it out in the universe. We're
yeah,
gonna
I'm gonna get
see
that book done. Yes, ma'am.
Jasmine. We're gonna see her book next year.
That's
Next
right.
year, we are claiming it.
Amen.
2022 is a
2022.
publishing year for you.
All right. I received that. Seriously. Seriously. Leave me alone. All right, Ladybug. I will talk to you soon. Good to see you. Mwah. Thank you. Good night.